But we also have some partners that help us along the way too. A guy named Governor Mark Dayton. Governor Mark Dayton has helped us be successful in all of the things that Joe listed. And then we've got federal and all of our constitutional officers. Rebecca Otto. By the way, Rebecca Otto is in a primary August 12th. This August 12th. And did you know that one of the pieces that we passed this year was early absentee voting? And that means you can vote right now in the primary. You don't have to wait until August 12th. And Rebecca needs our support. So she's in the primary against Matt Intenza. And so Rebecca Otto, who was recognized as a national auditor of the United States, has won several awards, needs our help. So we got a great constitutional officer in her. We have Steve Simon, a House member of ours that is running for the Attorney General's office, replacing Mark Ritchie, or Secretary of State, excuse me. And Lori Swanson, Attorney General, who also will be running for re-election. We got a great constitutional officer ballot when Rebecca Otto wins the primary on August 12th. But don't wait to vote August 12th. Get there now and vote. Okay? I'll probably say that a couple other times. Yes?
When we go vote now, the polls aren't open, so where do we go vote?
Good, very good question. So you go to your courthouse, like here in Brainerd, Crow Wing County Courthouse, Aiken County Courthouse, and to the recorder's office to do your absentee ballot. They'll take care of you. And that's a great question, Tim. So that's where you go to vote. If you have any questions, we're going to introduce you a couple other folks that are going to also be able to answer some of those questions. We have some federal folks that are really critical in this election as well. U.S. Senator Al Franken, who has passed legislation to get more mental health services for the veterans and children. He's worked on significant passage of tainted food in products. Al Franken has worked tirelessly on our behalf and has a critical race as well. He's done really good things, great things for us in the state of Minnesota, but in the nation as well. So we need to remember Senator Al Franken, in going forward as well. And then Congressman Rick Nolan. Congressman Rick Nolan has been in the past, is currently, and will be in the future a great champion for us in the 8th Congressional District. I couldn't think of a better person to fill the footsteps, the shoes of Congressman Jim Obastar than Rick Nolan, and he has done that. So let's hear from Congressman Nolan on what he would like to say today.
Thank you.
I want to bring it back, not from the federal level, back to the state level. The federal level, as Congressman Nolan said, is very, very important, and it trickles down to the state always. So we need to make sure that we have U.S. senators and U.S. congressmen and women that support our state agenda like Congressman Nolan does. So over the last 2 years, Representative Radinovich and I just talked about, what we were able to accomplish the last 2 years with the House that we have, the DFL House, the DFL Senate, and the governor as the DFLer. And by the way, Governor Dayton was asked, once the election was done in 2012, what's going to happen now with Democratic governor, House in Democratic hands, Senate in the Democratic hands? And he had one word, response: progress. Progress. And over the last 2 years, we've seen that. And let me just share with you what other people nationwide think of Minnesota. Forbes magazine named Minnesota the 3rd best state in the nation to make a living in 2014. 3rd best state in the nation. 3rd best state in the nation. And the significance of that is we were 6th in 2013. That's a huge jump. We jumped 3 positions in 1 year, and from 13 to 14. CNBC the nation to do business in. Ranked us the 6th best state to do business in the nation. In the nation. Minnesota has the 5th best overall economy in the nation in 2014. 5th best economy in the nation. We rank 5th in the infrastructure in the nation. We rank 5th in the infrastructure. In other words, the buildings that Minnesota takes care of and moves forward with, our colleges, our roads, our bridges. We rank 5th in the nation. Minnesota was ranked 2nd in the nation for the talent pipeline. This is from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce said nationwide we have the 2nd ranked talent in the nation. In the nation. We have 19 Fortune 500 companies still in Minnesota, which ranks 2nd per capita in the nation. Our state has the 4th best quality of life in the nation. 4th best quality of life, education, recreation, government, public, private sector. 4th best state. And that is what has happened over the last 2 years.
How does that compare to Wisconsin?
Funny you should ask. All the other Midwest states are all lower than us in all of those categories. In all of those categories. So my friends, we have done the job over the last 2 years as far as moving Minnesota forward. We feel, and we hope you feel. I want to just kind of bring this to a close and then talk about the importance of you being here and why Congressman Nolan, Senator Franken, Governor Dayton, Rebecca Otto, Lori Swanson, Steve Simon, Joe Radinovich, John Ward need you. Need you badly. In this weekend's dispatch, don't worry, Mike, I'm not going to talk about it. This weekend's dispatch, it was an editorial from an event that I was at Friday night, Brainerd Community Foundation Philanthropy Dinner. It was a remarkable event for 2 different reasons. A young lady by the name of Stacy Erholtz, and maybe some of you don't know about Stacy Erholtz's story, but Stacy Erholtz is a young lady from Pequot Lakes that took on a risk of having a super dose of measles virus to kill her cancer at the Mayo Clinic. And guess what? Her terminal cancer. And guess what? It worked. It worked. And a guy named Al McQueen, who is a resident of Gull Lake, has funded a huge funding source for the laboratory in Mayo. So at this philanthropy dinner, they highlighted that. And it is a remarkable story. And Stacy and Mike, her husband Mike, and all their family are obviously very thrilled about that story. But the second person that was there that talked was former Governor Arnie Carlson, a Republican. Former Governor Arnie Carlson. And Governor Carlson laid out a great keynote talk, in my opinion. And he talked about who we should elect. Why in politics, why in government do you beat each other up? Why do people criticize our elected officials so much? Would the CEO of a company come in every day and say, I hate my workers, they're the worst workers in the world. I hate that department, No, they say we've got the best workers, we've got the best this and best that. In private industry, they would never do that. Yet in the public sector, that happens all the time. From Governor Arnie Carlson, we need to show more respect and appreciation for elected officials, no matter what party they're from. Right. And why don't we work in a more bipartisan way, no matter what party they're from? And Arnie Carlson went on to say, and I hope every one of you read this editorial. Arnie Carlson went on to say, we need to elect the brightest, the most community-minded, the hardest working, the most dedicated and committed people that are willing to serve and understand what we is all about and not what I can do for myself. From Arnie Carlson, we need to that will work for community, will work for the betterment of community, that understand community, that are smart, that are bright, that are articulate, that are passionate, that are caring, that listen, that work for everybody. Do you happen to know 3 other people like that here right now? Yeah. That is why, and it's a contrast, and it's a contrast. It's a contrast, period, to a lot of different candidates, but to some candidates as well. In the same paper, in the same weekend paper, there are some cities that are trying to succeed from their state. They don't want to have parks. They don't want to have trails. They don't want to have government. They don't want to have. It's amazing. Both these stories are in this weekend's paper, and read them. Because it's the contrast of what we got going here. It's the contrast of what we got going here. We need you. We need you, and it's great to see new faces, regular faces, young faces, senior faces, all faces, because we need you. And if we don't have you, this is somewhat, in my opinion, this is somewhat concerning for Congressman Nolan, Representative Radinovich, and Representative Ward, because we know that every one of you here have already given so much to us. We need to reach out and make sure that our people show up. They understand these are the 3 choices that will move our state and country forward. That's what we need. We need to have you reach out to those people. And we need you to make your commitment as well. Now we're going to do a little bit door knock today around here, I think. And I want to just introduce some of the people. You know, we have a DFL office here in Brainerd on Maple Street. I get those streets mixed up. On Maple Street, right by U.S. Bank. Right by U.S. Bank. Is there an Aiken office?
There is an Aiken office. It's at the Beanery building in Aiken, which is 1 block north of the stoplight.
So we need people that are willing to knock, to call, to put signs in their yard, to help put up signs. We need people to respond to some of the letters in the editor that we've already seen and that aren't going to stop. And that say, you know what? Here's what Congressman Nolan has and will do. Here's what Representative Radinovich has and will do. Here's what Ward has and will do. And I don't care if you live in Minnesota or on the East Coast. You can all write letters to the editor and speak what is truth about the candidates. We're not asking anybody to tell anything that they don't believe in. But if you believe in us because we believe in you and we want to work for you and we want to have more years of the last 2 years that we just had in the state of Minnesota, then help us. Then be there for us and work for us, because that's the only way we're going to get it done. So, I want to introduce Jordan, who's with the coordinated campaign. Jordan, give us your last name.
Jordan Haggard. So I'm with the coordinated campaign. I moved up here to Brainerd and I've only found great people. And honored to be working with these 3 guys. Joe said he's got 2 heroes he looks to, and so I got 3. And we really could use all your help. It's going to be a tough year, and so look forward to working with a lot of you.
And then, so give Jordan a big round of applause. Working tirelessly for us. And then Steve Samuelson. We call him Sam. I guess some people are calling him Silver Sam right now. I don't know. His dad is Don Samuelson, for those that don't know. For those that don't know, his dad is Don Samuelson. So Sam has a few political bones in his body, huh? And a little bit of know-how. Sam, why don't you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about you and what your position is?
Hey, Sam, before you start, I apologize. Mary and I are going to have to leave. I have an event down on the south end of the district yet tonight. And believe it or not, that's 3 hours south of here. So we're going to have to slip away. But thanks, everybody, for being here.
Thank you. Thanks, Mary.
Well, yeah, I'm Sam, and as usual, when it comes election time, I like to go out and knock on doors, and like to ask people to help us knock on doors so we can get our people in. And so I do have some clipboards There's some small routes around the north end of town here.
You're moving fast yet.
We're going to go out in pairs.
They have to slow down,
People,
huh?
roughly 15 to 20 doors a piece.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you one little
When
question.
we're done, we're going to run over
We have a
to the
model
office on Maple and have some
former governor to the north of it.
So if you can stay and help today and in the future, that would be very much appreciated. Well, Jordan and Sam are going to. We also want to, as somebody, I think Congressman Nolan said, we got a lot of all age people helping with us this year, and we appreciate that so much. All of our young help, all of our experienced help, and those of us that have stood by us for many, many, many years, you know, helping us. And by the way, I need to say thank you to my best supporter, my wife Sally, who has always been blessed me with the opportunity to do this for you. So, are there other staff that we need to introduce?
Enid, Little Sam.
Where's Enid?
We already did.
Okay, Enid, who's working for Congressman Nolan. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Little Sam over here. We got Big Sam and Little Sam.